looking to expand their business can really blow that one up. Hold on, let me pull this up. Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo. And you already know what it is, man. You rocking with the best. You heard? Hold on, I got some feedback. Cut that off. Boom. All right. So welcome everybody. Tahisha, what up? We got VA in the building. Cam, we got the Bay. Monique, she out there in Compton. Azania, hello. iPhone, you might be a spook iPhone. I don't trust anybody that put iPhone on the shit. You might be a Fed. So we got to keep our eye on you. Or change your name, man. Change your name.
Not the Feds.
You know, hey, man, there's has that be coming in this joint and co-opting IP, man. Wait till I get this IP lawyer on here. Y'all in trouble. The ones that rock with us heavy, you gotta love it. The ones that are here to steal information, we on your back. So today, ladies and gentlemen, on a Sunday, my man Tiyawn. Damn, dude, I don't know why. You know what? Because I'm from the hood. It's because I'm from the hood, bro. I know.
It's plenty Tiywans, so I'm not even gonna hold you and say, oh man, I'm not mad anymore because I know so many. I've worked with like 4. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're Tiyawn. I'm like, no, I'm Tiyawn. And they're like, oh,
Tiyawn. That's unique as shit, though.
You know, like, it's okay. It's all right. We'll get there.
Yeah. So we are here with Tiyawn out in Milwaukee. We were just chopping it up. If you guys missed the pre-show, Cam was there for the pre-show. Y'all know we was talking some ish, right? So Tiyawn, please introduce yourself, brother. I know I had to catch myself there.
I'm gonna throw it in there. So Tiyawn. So I'm gonna throw it in there phonetically. You know what I'm saying? The phonetic is just so we got it. Hold on. Let me just go ahead and do that. If it's not even letting me type. Hold on, sorry, y'all.
It's not letting you type.
No,
yeah, okay. I was just listening to TD Jakes. Tiyawn just came from church, so we feeling real holy and spiritual right now.
Right.
But y'all know that with me, it don't last that long. That I need to bathe in holy water, right? Like I need to be drinking holy water.
So everyone, I'm Tiyawn Walker. So a little bit about me. So again, thank you everybody who's tuned in. Thank you for just anybody. Real quick. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm a father. I'm a husband. This is the office, but I might have a little baby run through here. She might say hi. That's why I do it for. I do it to make sure that my family is able to have me at the helm at leadership, but also have my time. And they can have.
Hey, bring on the camera, dude. Come on, man. Let's see the young one.
They say hi. Okay, here we go.
We love kids. Hey, gorgeous. How are you?
Hello. You got your ball.
I see you got your water bottle. You going to work out?
You want to work out? She runs. You work out. Okay, here we go. I'm missing. Okay. Well, mommy. All right.
Love it.
So, like I said, it's real out here. So, that is in the YouTube, isn't it? That's.
Oh
mine.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. That's in there. It's like Prego sauce, baby. It's in there.
Look, that's okay. That's all right. So, so again, I'm Tiyawn Walker. Like I said, I'm a husband. I'm a leader of my home. So a leader in the community. We do a little bit of everything. But my background, I'm a community advocate. I'm literally here on this planet to help people become a better version of themselves. So that's financially, that's spiritually, and that's also physically, right? If I can do that, when I do that, I'm able to be transformative around anywhere that I am. So that's how I bring value to wherever I am, right? I'm a teacher, a coach, I'm your third favorite cousin. I'm all of that, right? So that's who I am in short. I'm your favorite cousin, as I say.
Well, let me ask you, how do you help people in their
right.
the transforming
Right.
Like, because you mentioned three. You said spiritually, mentally, and in business. Is that right?
Correct. Or in whatever financially, right? And then we segue into business, right? It's kind of where we are right now and why I'm here. But
in those three, which one is your strongest suit?
I'm equally balanced, I would say. I'm trying to become better from a spiritual standpoint because, again, I'm working with people, so I'm not responsible for that. At the end of the day, you're responsible for all those things. I can only but show you, right? I'm getting stronger in this season. I'm getting stronger in helping people financially.
Okay.
And the reason why, and it speaks to the background and where I come from, right? So starting with the community, right? I've always worked for nonprofits, higher ed, and also, now I'm working on my own, right? I'm my own boss at this point, running my own company.
Shout out to you on that.
We'll plug that afterwards, but that's where I'm the strongest. I want to just touch on the point of starting with education, right? So I was always the person that's like, yeah, go to school, do your 4 years, and then therein go back to where you grew up and work in the community that looked like you, right? Give back to every place that's giving you something. So I've always been that advocate, and I've done that in practice, right? So I'm living in Milwaukee now, but I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin, and every place that I've got something from, I went and gave back tenfold. So I'm that person. And I really believe that our communities, the Black community in general, or any impoverished community within the United States, if we had more people showing up like that, we'd have we'd be in a way better space, right? But in education, right? You send your kid to school, right? You send them to school and they get that degree, and then they get out of school, and then now what happens? They're a lot of them are working, and they're still trying to figure some things out. And I feel that in my next phase of helping entrepreneurs transition into this new world, right? Everyone wants to be their own boss until it's time for them to be their own boss, right? So ultimately, there's so many things that, and I think it's been touched on throughout the previous series as well. Shout out to all the queens that came before me. They've all touched on that transition and how you have to reimagine and how you have to check yourself to be able to go forward. And emotional intelligence is one of the bigger pieces. If you don't have that as an entrepreneur, it's going to affect your money. And that's the last thing we want. So I feel like I'm just on this soapbox.
No, bro, flow, baby, flow.
I'm talking this shit right now. Sorry.
Hey, listen, man.
My apologies.
This is us right here. This is you and I.
So, I've going back. I've come from helping people finish their degrees, right? Mentoring people to get their PhDs. But what I've been seeing is we're missing that component of ownership, right? Education is beautiful, right? I think it's a vehicle and a conduit to get us in many rooms, but also we're missing the point of being our own creators. So I'm really into that as of now, and have really been awakened to all the different entrepreneurship opportunities. It's not a shortage of them. It's now, how do we tap in and how do we make it work for us? What do I need to unlearn? Answering all of the questions that a mind will have to solve the problem to get you to that next level. So that's where I come in with that transition piece, right? Being an overthinker, you sat with me a couple of times, and like, you have to make sure, for me, I need to make sure that box is checked, right? But before you check the box, what do you need to do? You need to do an action, right? You need to do something. What you told me, you don't load up the clip and just be holding it. Let a couple shots off. Let them know you're here, right?
Got to.
You have to. So a lot of entrepreneurs are in the analysis paralysis part, right? And what I think a lot of us are sometimes missing is understanding that there is a blueprint and there's actual people who've lived it. But when you live it, a lot of time we're not documenting as we transition, right? And that's where I come in. That's where kind of where.
Okay, so let's do a quick walkthrough right now. Like, let's say I am experiencing analysis paralysis. I want to be a high level notary public. and I'm getting all the information, right? I'm absorbing there. I'm taking Cam's course, I'm taking Tiger's course, I'm taking your course. Like I'm in the transition of taking your course, right? Mm-hmm. I've gone to conferences, but I just can't break past this threshold of making X amount of money. I want to make high 5 figures. Mm-hmm. How would you help me out?
In that, what I would do is I'd actually sit down with you and figure out, and we would, because you know yourself, right? The best thing about, and it's going back to the emotional intelligence part, you need to know yourself. This is why it's so hard, right? So many of the years of us growing up, other people have told us who we are, and we haven't yet experienced ourselves, right?
Okay.
So it's sitting down. We can talk money, right? We can always talk the dollars, right? But again, this is your emotional intelligence gets you that dollar. So let's sit with you first, right? Let's sit with your habits. Let's sit with how and where you're marketing, right? Let's see, what your budgets are. So what I would honestly do is sit down and go through an audit with the the person that I'm working with, the business owner, to be able to get you to that next level. So if you're not able to identify where you're trying to go, I want to get up here, but you haven't done the small steps in between to get to that elevation level. So a lot of that is us sitting down and talking, and really, it's going to look different for each person, right? So Milwaukee is going to look a little bit different than, Chicagoland area compared to, I heard Compton was in the house. Shout out to Compton. Shout out to the West Coast out there. These different places, right? You're going to have to boil it down into how I'm working and what direction we need to go as a business, right? So that's the first and foremost. So it's not something like a quick fix. It is, going back to the drawing board, making those changes, but then also the action of, right? Because analysis paralysis is just analyzing. You haven't done anything, right? You have to go do what you said you wanted to do, right? So that's putting on calendars and having people that are around you that are there for accountability measures, right? Getting a mentor, getting a coach, or having people within your city that you can leverage as well, right? People that are trusted. There's an amazing network here, right? And there's multiple that people can tap into to be able to hold themselves accountable to move to that next level. You have to be around people that are there as well. So don't be the big homie in the room at all times, right? Be the novice sometime, right? If you're next to another business owner, or if you're the only business owner, that we need to be in a different room. Those are some quick points. I'm not trying to give everything away, but those are some things that we would touch on, kind of just in our initial meeting, and then therein craft how we can transition into something grander, right?
So how long have you been a notary for now?
So I've been a notary. This is funny, right? I've been a notary for about 2 years, right?
Okay.
But analysis paralysis, right? So I'm speaking of what I know. I'm like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I make it something real? And then we're also navigating COVID, right? We have these different pieces. Give me 1 second here. You probably hear my little one in the back.
Oh, no, you're good.
But can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been a notary for 2 years. As far as executing and actually getting my money from my stamp, it took me about 8 months to actually do the thing, because I wanted to make sure everything was perfect before I moved into.
So are you a perfectionist as well?
At one point.
Okay.
At one point, I'm not anymore. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
My perfectionism is just procrastination. It's just decorated differently. You feel me? So at one point, I wanted to make sure, everything was perfect before I took that next step. And so I was a perfectionist, right? I want things to be good. I don't want to give you some nonsense, right? I want you to get the value that I told you you're going to get, right? Or greater than, right? So I was able to move through that, but also as I was moving through these pieces of analysis paralysis, I was also documenting, right? What's stopping me? What are some things that I can possibly share? I recognize that 8-month hold. I feel you, right? It took so long, right? Because I wanted it to be beautiful. Like once I hit the ground, I'm running, but no one's perfect, right? It's always going to be something that we can critique and add to become better. And it's better to do that while you're live, while you're taking in that feedback. It's not going to be perfect off jump. You have to go through it a couple of times to refine your skill, and then also to refine your business and how it runs. So you got to run up against some roadblocks or some things, right? Overall, but that's how long I've been a notary. Had my stamp, and when I decided that I was no longer just analyzing, that's when I started to actually, see the results that I wanted to see. So,
wait, hold on. We got to unpack some stuff because you said some things in there. So what happened in that 8-month break? Because why didn't it go from 8 months to 10 months, 10 months to a year? Like what happened? Like, did you get frustrated with yourself? Like, what what happened that you made this breakthrough?
In short, I was doing too much. Doing too much. And I'm a person that I'm like, yeah, I'm creative. I can go over here. I can do some research on this and execute and blah, blah, blah. Like I said, there's so many different ways to make money. Like how I even got to the notary space. I started out like listening to, I was listening to Todd Billionaire's, his
Todd.
His podcast. So listening to Todd, and then I hear Andre Hatchett.
That's my man.
And, in between, right? Shout out to Andre Hatchett. So that is where I started. I'm like, and I've listened to the podcast, and I'm like, dude, Andre Hatchett is on everything, dude. Who is this dude, right? And then it just kind of carousel from there, right? So took a class there, like how do you notarize items? I'm like, okay, so a couple dollars here wouldn't hurt me. Cool. Let's see what's going on there. And then I think the first class was you, right? You're like one of the first classes you see on the power of attorney documents and things like that. And then it just kind of became one of those spaces of like, this is where I'm going to focus my energy. So I was trying to do way too much. I'm renovating a house, right? Relocating to Milwaukee,
okay,
with kids and with a wife and all these other moving parts. And, you're trying to build a business, but you're laying drywall, right? You're moving refrigerators, you're doing stuff that is not what you're supposed to be focusing on. So I was able to complete what I needed to complete and really focus. So that was the big part for me, is that's why I was frustrated the whole time, but I was able to throw the frustration into knocking walls out, right? Or, just small things like that. When you're working with your hands, it's easier to be all right, right? You're like, okay, well, I'm upset about whatever, but I'm going to take my frustrations out over here, right?
Right.
But you're still being a creative, right? So that was an outlet for me. You get to paint, do all these other things, right? And I learned about myself that I like to create stuff, right? So it helped to take that, transition that creative and project management and all those things that I learned into the business aspect of it, and to really take it serious and to really be willing to push past the barrier of fear or the what if this doesn't work aspect, right? Because again, you won't know until you actually do it. So I was able to slow it down and actually do it. What you scared of, right? Most of what we're afraid of is what we don't know, right? It's irrational fear.
Now, were you afraid of something?
I was afraid. So I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all.
I need you to.
I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all. What I was afraid of is that we all know notarizations or being a signing agent or whatever, apostille agent is not the sexiest thing, right? The perception of, right? I think that's what stopped me. I'm gonna be real. The outward appearance of it is not something that's like, oh yeah, I didn't grow up to become the flyest notary on the planet. No, but so what I did was I focused on business development, right? We are all people who are entrepreneurs and we're developing businesses.
Yeah.
So I think that's what resonated with me is you use this vehicle right here to get you to where you're trying to go. So, and if it's making you money, you're able to justify the means, right? So at first I was like, nah, I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to do something that's a little bit more fly. But then I'm like, what's more fly than being able to take care of your family, right? What's more fly than being able to, share with other people your experiences and then support others as they come to you, right? So being able not just to sit on it, but to also be in community with others. So ultimately, that's why I'm here, right? That's why I'm on this earth, is to learn, but also to give to others, right? So this is the perfect opportunity to be about that in real life. So I like.
And the reason why I kind of like pressed on that is because there are a lot of notaries that go through that, right?
Yes.
That they have the knowledge. They can tell you from beginning to end how to notarize a loan signing document, and they've never done one because they indulge in so much, but they can't get past that hurdle, right?
Right.
They just can't push back, like this proverbial invisible wall in front of them, and they just can't penetrate through it. Now, one thing I will say about the notary business fly, I'm going to say that the people that were here before us didn't make it fly. I'm making this shit fly. I'm gonna make this shit fly as shit, and you are too. And Cam is making this shit fly, and everybody on here is making this shit fly. They just ain't got that fly gene. We got that fly gene. Cam, especially college grad. I don't speak it, building on that part, right? Yeah, and if you're keeping it real, everybody has made it extra fly and extra appealing, which is again is much different than what I originally thought. So I'm a part of a community now through all you all that is like, yes, and I love to see people win. I literally enjoy every time one of you all create a course, take your family on vacation, get that signing, whatever that win is. Like, I'm genuinely happy for everyone. So that is the beauty of it. And sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it takes a little bit more time, but to get over that hump is something that I love. So I genuinely love to see y'all win. So college graduates making the whole like barrier up here that's a whole nother conversation, I think. And I think it's more, we're all built that way. We're all kind of molded that way, but I'm not going to throw too much of that out right now. We can probably have a whole nother conversation on that, but shout out to Cam for dropping that. I've noticed also in this notary business, right? And I could see why a lot, like no kid ever grew up and say, when I grow up, I want to be a notary. Like, what? Like what's wrong with this kid?
Right? Practicing your stamps when you like,
he's like, oh, I can't wait. You want to be a firefighter, you want to be a doctor, you want to do some other stuff, you want to do some exciting stuff, but heck, adults don't wake up one day and say, hey, today I want to be a notary, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing that I noticed is I call it the Magic Johnson effect, right? Mm-hmm. When Magic Johnson got with Howard Schultz, the CEO of Starbucks, he's like, hey, look, I want to bring coffee into the urban areas, but I have to do it my way. And Howard was very stern. He was like, no, we have a system. This is how we're going to do it, blah, blah, blah. He was like, listen, you don't understand my people like I understand my people. He said, we are a rhythmic people, meaning we don't want to go in there and we're hearing Barbra Streisand. There's nothing wrong with Barbra Streisand, right? But our people want to hear maybe some Ray Charles. They want to hear some, John Legend, or what. They want to hear some smooth jazz. He's like, okay. Now Howard Schultz is listening, right? He was like, it sounds like he's in tune with his people. Mm-hmm. So then he was like, hey, another thing, Black people don't eat scones. You should watch. I don't know if he has an interview on it, but I think I read a book on how he approached it. And he was like, Black people don't eat scones. He was like, you're going to have to come up with like some coffee cake, some pound cake, maybe some lemon icing on a pound cake or something. But that's what we like. And they gave a couple of test tries to some of the Starbucks and it blew the hell up. Mm-hmm. So I look at the notary industry the same way. It's like, all right, we weren't in here like that, but now we're here. And if we want to see more melanated people, Black and brown people into this thing, we have to move differently. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say that, yeah, we're making it fly. We're doing club War Room and all kind of shit. So
yeah, War Room. Shout out to Coach Team. And in general, like it's just a beautiful space to be in overall. So I'm just happy to be here and to give what I can, and as I learn to not just sit on it. So
now you use the word. I paid real close attention. You use the word a lot, and you said the key word that really stuck out for me was create. Are you big on that?
I've always been, but I've been suppressed in my creation.
Who did that?
A lot of myself, but also a lot of it is going into as a person that's going to college. Like, you have to stay within parameters and rules, right? Look at writing, right? We look at any assignment in the college world, right? Yeah. You have to write it a certain way, APA format, right? Stuff that the average writer, the average creative is really not trying to put their energy into. So once you learn that way, you learn that everything has like parameters, you stop looking at it in a creative way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I've learned within in the last couple of years is, if I want to exercise my creative, I need to honor myself as a creative, not just a guy that does numbers or is behind the scenes. But as a creative, you have the ability to learn new things, right? And to create whatever that is, right? So most of us have, erected businesses with these two things, right? You're creative, right? You might not be good at UX design right now, or you may not be the best at whatever it is, right? Marketing, right? Mm-hmm. But you have that ability to, right? If you so choose to move that way. So I now see myself as a creative, and then practicing things that I like to do, right? I love music, right? So tapping back into whatever kind of music that's out here. I'm more, I have my own genres that I like, but also, going out to dance, when I have some time, taking my wife out to dance, doing stuff like that, like really, really immersing myself into the things that are creative, that spark that idea flow. Yes. And then also setting aside time to really be a part of your creative, right? Whatever that process is, right? Putting your mind in that process to do that. Maybe it's going for a walk, as we talked about, putting some music on, and getting it going, you understand? So those are some things that I'm starting to honor about myself, right? Because at first I was very much like, these are the things that you have to check off. But one of the beautiful things about being an entrepreneur is also being able to create, right? Yeah. And to be a shot caller. Like, no one's telling you that, what time you pick your phone up and what time you put your phone down, right? No one's telling you that the color scheme on your marketing campaign needs to look like this. And that's the beautiful part, but also the scary part about it as well. Ain't nobody telling you how to do this, right? Like, and if you're made one way of, someone's telling you that this is a 12-page paper that's due at midnight, it needs to be on the most I don't know, throw out something, it needs to be on Southwest Wisconsin cattle farming, and you're like, what is this? You're given a parameter of how to create, right? Now we don't have that, or now we have it, depending on where you are, and you move around with it, you move forth with it. So
after this question, then we'll go into some Q&A. But so now that you're transitioning into this creative side of things, which is, I love being a creative. Hey, it's even in the Bible, you guys. God created the world in 7 days, right? Like, he's letting you know, or God created man in his image. The word creation is in there. We're all creators. Some of us has tapped into it, some of us have not.
Right.
Your transition from, it sounds like you're unraveling some of the, ways that college and school and society has structured things, and now you're entering this world of creativity where there's like no boundaries, no ceilings. It's just out there. Like, you can just literally take a thought from your mind and manifest it in real time. Mm-hmm. how's that transition for you? Is like, are you like pissed and say like, damn, y'all did a number on me? Because I know I said that when I got
so disrespected.
I was like,
so disrespected. Yeah, I still feel some kind of way. When you really
good, I don't feel like the only one. Thank God.
Oh, I feel some kind of way, and I'm going to forever feel that type of way, right?
Yeah.
When you realize how much we're talking about, like my experience at, in the college world, me working, where I worked, and the retention of the different individuals within the college ecosystem itself. Like when you're charged to do that, and to realize based on the action that I put in, help the university's bottom line, and that what that bottom line number was, I was so sick. When I sat down and did the math one day in the office, and I took off the rest of the day, I was like, this is disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then you also look at what you're retaining from that, from that sale, for lack of a better term, right? And it's like, I had to take the rest of the day off. I was so mad. And then and from that moment on, I was locked into creating something that was as impactful for us, right? But then also able to support my family, right? So that's a huge thing, right? I'm a family man. That's who I am, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so super disrespectful, and then super disrespected, and it was a disrespectful feeling. But also, I took accountability, because do I want to continue to feel that, or do I want to therein move into something that is of my creation, right? And then just looking at different ways, where I was good and where I wasn't good. So I took a lot of inventory and a lot of reflection to be able to make those forward steps, to be able to move into the creative, right? The creative is so important. So honor your creative, just so you're able to take what's in your mind and put it out there. So when you make it, once you take it from here and put it out there, it's scary at first. I was afraid. I was taken aback, because I was like, I did that. And then you're like, hold on, I did that. What else can I do? Right? Where else am I limiting myself? Right? So those are the questions that I begin to ask myself in this entire process. And a lot of it is me, right? My biggest enemy is my inner me, right? Yeah. That's a bar from somebody. I feel like that's a Lupe bar. Shout out to Chicago. Something of that nature, right? Your inner you is going to stop you from moving into where you want to go. So
I got a question for you. I got one more question before we go to Q&A. How would you rate yourself on a networking level from 1 to 10? 1 being that your networking abilities is shit, 10 being like you're like a guru at it. Like,
it's a different world of networking now, because it's all digital, right? I feel there's a lot more digital networking than in-person networking in the now. I'm probably at this point, I'm gonna say I'm a strong 7.
Okay.
Because I'm still in the process of mastering, that inherent feel of people via the camera, right? You can usually get a feel of people in person when you're networking and their habits and things like that. But it's easier, I feel like, for people to not give you the real doing this, right? Okay. So I'm going to give myself a 7, because I don't have that discernment that I usually have in person, right? I can kind of read you off jump when we're doing our networking and things like that. If I want to align myself with you, but I'm super social, I can go up and spark a conversation with basically anybody, and let them talk about themselves, because most people want to talk about themselves and what they're doing. So
now you're good at face-to-face networking. So give me three tips that you can share with the family here on how to be an effective networker, because there's going to be a lot of conferences. Cam got a conference coming up in October. There's people putting on meetups and stuff like that. Give us 3 solid pointers on how to network.
First and foremost,
I'm taking notes, by the way, brother. I'm taking notes.
It's going to be checking yourself first, right? It's always need to be a self-inventory before you go anywhere, right? If you're going to these different places, what's the purpose? Are you doing it just to do it? Are you doing it to align yourself with other people within the city? Is it marketing? Whatever it is, do that inventory of the purpose of going to these places, right?
So you're saying like having objective?
Have an objective.
Okay.
So, yeah, have an objective when you go into a space. If you're going to a conference, right? That's a conference. I'll take that back. Networking. We're networking. Sorry. Yeah. So as you go into spaces, pay attention to the room, right? See what's there. I love to, do a recon, right? Of like, if I'm going to a networking event, who's going to be there, who's hosting it, get information of individuals who are there. So if I'm thinking about going to, a bigger pockets event, that's all around real estate, right? I'm going to go in and I'm going to say what I do and understand your elevator pitch. You have a 30 minutes to impress people. Now it's 7 to 6 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Of attention that you need to grab. Walk up, have a conversation, make it quick. If you can command more than one person into your sphere as you speak, right? Welcome them all in, because I like to talk to 3 or 4 people at once. So I don't need to go around and talk to 50 people, right? I like to kind of pull people in, try to captivate the audience. And then if people have questions or they want to, switch information, we go ahead and do that. Also, business cards, if you happen to have one or don't have one, be available on the digital spaces, right? Have a presence there, and it makes it easier. Everyone has a phone. If you don't have a business card, say, hey, look, pull up my, if you have a landing page, some people might have it, whatever. Do that. And that kind of helps, like the very introductory things, right? But make sure you understand why you're there. Make sure you have your elevator pitch, right? Who you are, what you do, who you service, how you make their lives easier, right? What makes you a better sale than others, right? Why are you the best notary in your area, right? Why is your company the one to work with, right? Mine is we answer the phone, right? How many people are not answering their phone when they're getting these calls, right? And I say a lot of other things as well. But those are the big things for us, right? To make sure that we're prepared and we go in and we execute. It might take you more energy if you're a person that loves that. It might take you, it takes you less energy to do that. If you're a person that loves to network, if you're a person that's a little bit afraid, it's okay. Because again, no one knows that you're afraid but you, right? So once you show up to a space and you're networking, practice, right? Or if you need to practice before you get there, go to Starbucks and say, hey, look, I'm just kind of practicing my elevator speech, just blah, blah, blah. You have to approach people. You have to be that force in that room to advocate for yourself and your business, because no one's going to do it for you. So those are some three quick tips that you could probably do.
No, that was solid. That actually, you gave 4.
I did 4. My bad.
I'll hit the recap on it. So have an objective before you get there, right?
Right.
Being able to read the room, see who's movers and shakers, who's not, and I love that. Have a fire elevator pitch, and then and this last one is funny because I went to a couple of meetup conferences and there were these guest speakers and they didn't have no business cards on them, right? Like these were actual speakers, and as people would approach them, they'll be like, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. And they'll just they will pull out their phone and pull up their Instagram and then they would connect on Instagram first, because they would have, when I think about it, that was genius, because they have all of this content on their Instagram already. You're familiar with that platform. Oh man, that's a play.
Yep. That is, and no one has business cards anymore, right? We're in the digital age. We've arrived. So as I, do my networking and working with different businesses within my city and just abroad in general, people are like, oh, we've been remote for so long. We have to go print these out before we got here. Like the business card is still warm, right? Like it just came off the press. So for the few people that have it, but they have a beautiful digital
the smart
space.
cards.
smart
or
cards. They
have
have
one of them
that.
smart business cards. I have a smart business card.
Mhm.
Now, there's little glitches with that because you have to have a certain setting set on your phone. But for the most part, most people already have that setting set on their phone. So when you go up to them, you just tap their phone with that card and it gives them everything: your Facebook, your Instagram, a picture of you. You could put a video in there. You could put a payment gateway in there, all kind of stuff. So these smart cards are getting really, really sharp, really sharp. Yeah, so let's go into the Q&A. If you guys want to unmute yourself, you can talk to Tiyawn here and chop it up. Cam, you've been very vocal. Come on here, girl.
Hey y'all.
Hello.
Look, I'm over here. I'm having the little one. Her feelings is hurt. She's like, "Are we doing another video?" No video today. Mari, come on, Mari. Come on. Don't act like that. It's mommy's birthday. You gotta be quiet though.
Whose birthday?
You know my birthday a whole month from now, but Leo's.
Oh, you celebrating early.
It's my birthday because it's my birthday. No, but you know what? I love this conversation. This is real dope. I really, 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 really get down with it. Like, I love the transformation and, you know what I'm saying, like the growth and how you are working to, help people transition their mindset. Like, I feel like all of this is real dope. Like, I hate that I've been missing these notary war rooms because it's so much fire inside these wombs. So I want to say shout out to our guy for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm definitely more interested in I'm sorry. And I'm new to this, guys, because I just don't do social media. I never did. And so this is like a whole new world. So I would like to know exactly what is it that you're focusing on so we can promote that. Like, I'd love to chit chat with you about coming to the conference because I want people who have walked the walk. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, what was definitely influential for me is the undoing the college mindset. You know what I'm saying? So that we can move into ownership and, like you say, letting our authentic selves show up in creativeness and all of those things that are the money makers. You know what I'm saying? We always hear that thing that you have everything inside of you need to accomplish everything you desire. And I'm coming to find creativity and just letting yourself be it's a game changer. So I want to hear more about that. And I'm sorry, I know you said you were going to plug it later, but I've been anxious. I'm like, ooh, what does he do? Come on, tell me.
So thank you. It's most of what I do is on a consulting level. So more one-to-one. I have been tapping in with other individuals. I'm like, this needs to be a class. It needs to be what now, right? So that is to come. We are building that, but most of what I do is going to be on a one-to-one basis. I'll drop my social media as well. But overall, well, sorry, Cam, what was the question? Sorry, I was about to say something that wasn't even your doggone question. What was the question?
No. I feel you. That's me. I get excited and brain get to moving. That's bosses. Like, your mind is
going that way.
Directions at once.
I was gonna touch on the conference. You didn't even ask me none of that, but that's
no. Come on,
right.
we chit chatting. Like I said,
right.
Hey, we're here to learn it. Yeah, I mean,
for sure. We're in the process of honoring the transition, right? I'm in the process of building beyond just being a business owner, but also bringing people in and helping people with the transition period, right? And the unlearning of how we're educated is just a number has been done on us a lot of the time, right? We get great things from that, but then we need to develop a new tool set to be successful within the entrepreneurial journey, right? And some of it is transferable, other things aren't, right?
Absolutely.
I can go on for a long time about what that looks like. Again, so many people don't realize how we've been but been programmed to move and work a certain way. And if you're not getting those rewards, right, if you will, you're not successful, right? An entrepreneur is successful as they build, right? in my opinion, right? And people can refute that if they want. But as you build on your journey, you're better. You're better than who you were yesterday, right? So if I am able to understand what my cash flow is for my business, you didn't know that before. Did you even know what cash flow was before you? Like it's all these things that wasn't given to you to be successful. So within that itself, right, it's almost re-educating individuals about how to become an entrepreneur, right? Even looking at the university level, right? Most of our major universities are now leaning towards a 12-week entrepreneur course, right?
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, right, they're 2 or 3 years late, right? Because we have had this boom, right? We've had a multitude of individuals step away from traditional jobs, right? And people are, making fish plates. We all be making fish plates, right? Making, selling shirts, flipping houses, all these different things that have become almost the norm, right? And social media has ballooned it up. And there's some communities like this that we can tap into to understand our power. But now universities are seeing the ability to monetize that now. So which means to me is that we're in the appropriate space, right? If the big universities are able to now create classes, right? Who gives them the right, not the right, but gives them the license to create entrepreneurship something is like, yeah, we're in the right place. We're in the right place, and we're talking, and we're talking that good talk, and we're doing what we're supposed to do. If now the university is honoring an entrepreneur, because before it was go be an accountant, go be a lawyer, go be a doctor. Now there's so many people that want to learn this knowledge. But sorry, that's me on my soapbox right now. We're all that to say we're in the right place, right? Is how do you, as an individual, as the master of your ship, right, make it fit and make it work for you, period. So more to come with I plan on writing a book as well. Shout out to Tiger. The
mastermind's going down tonight, brother.
Right.
Yeah. So shout out to Tiger. In general, those are the things that I'll be working on. Dates and things will come up relatively soon. I'm going on vacation, and all this information won't be out before then, so I'll release it afterwards, right? So
we have a question here from Deborah. Well, not much of a question, but I'm gonna rephrase it as a question. So Deborah said, and Deborah, if you're still on here, I'd love to really, because this is the war room. We're here to help, right? I don't want you to walk away with nothing. I want you to be able to walk away with some actionable strategies to get past certain hurdles. So she said she was having a hard time with social media, but she's slowly working on getting on there. So what kind of advice, and Deborah, again, if you want to mute yourself, you could jump on here, but what kind of advice would you give someone that isn't on social media? Okay, first of all, let me ask you, do you feel that being on social media is relevant? Do we need to be on social media or not?
I was very much like, I don't need to be on social media.
Okay.
But you need to be, period. Okay. That's where you have to. It's the content. People are going to be more willing to shop with you, to do business with you, right? When you have a social media presence, right? And that's something that I've learned. And I was very much like, yeah, no, because I'm not really in front of the camera kind of dude. I'm trying to be behind the scenes, right? I don't want my face on nothing. But also people need to come see you. Authenticity sells, right? You are going to be the person that people are going to connect with. They'll say, okay, Tiyawn, he seems like a pretty personable dude, or they're going to be like, yeah, I don't mess with him. And it's going to be some reason, right? And valid on each side, right? Why you mess with me, why you might not mess with me. And it's okay either way. But people make their discernment and their decision based on your social media. A business card, great. You can go to my website and you can see my, Milwaukee Notary Services, right? You can go see that, but it's one thing to talk to the owner, and it's going to be different. We have the ability to go past just the website, right? I can go and see what Drake is doing, or maybe not Drake. I don't know if he's even on social media. I can go see what my favorite comedian is doing right now, right? I can go see what, so it's this accessibility that in this age is around. So we need to be on social media. But the beautiful thing about social media is you can create what you feel comfortable creating. It doesn't need to be all your business, right? It can be like, oh, we have this thing going on, right? And that's what you're sharing and people see you. So it's a visibility, it's another level and it's another layer that does need to be tackled. What I did hear from Miss Deborah was she is working towards it. So that's what I took away from that. So you're working towards it slowly and your pace is definitely your pace. Yeah. So I want to respect that pace, right? So if you continue to work on it slowly, you will reach a level where you're comfortable with posting whatever you feel comfortable with. So it's not going to be super fast, but your pace is valid. And a lot of us don't hear that, right? But you do need to begin to continue to work on having your social media presence, right?
And I think I just jumping in, Deborah's one of the students in the academy. And Deborah, the way you create, in your thought process, I think you will be extremely, extremely beneficial to a community because like Deborah thinks through the entire process. And what I love about her, she'll say, wait, let me think about that. And she comes back with a whole new angle. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's progressive. So for me, like you say, for my absence from social media was because I didn't want everybody in my business. And I didn't, like we're raised to see these huge standards. Like before you can get on and do anything, you got to be great, 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 great. You know what I'm saying? And I think that goes back to our training and so forth. But I'm telling you, Deborah, like I love when you come and you have questions because they're impactful. Like, you know what I'm saying? It makes me as a coach stop and think like, damn, wait a minute. Let me think through this so that I can give you a really competent answer. So I think you're absolutely ready. And I can't wait to see what you do because you're there. You know what I'm saying? And you are phenomenal. She understands it. She lives, breathes it. She takes it to work. Like she's ready. She's absolutely ready.
That is amazing to hear. And thank you for sharing that about her.
Yeah, like, Cam is a spiritual coach too.
I'm telling you.
Get me all hype. I'm like, go, Deborah.
I'm saying.
I cuss too much. They'll fire my ass immediately.
No. You don't curse enough.
I think I made it through this entire thing. I have not swore. I don't think I think I kept it real clean.
That's fucked up. But, I mean, like
got us on here looking like heathens.
No, we good. Look, I love it. I'm messing with it. Any other questions in general?
So I did see something on the analysis paralysis thing. Can you give like just like 2 tips on how you were able to break out of the analysis paralysis side of things?
Yeah, for sure. For me, I wrote down everything because I'm one that was very much like I don't journal, right? Okay. But one of the bigger things for me is to write down what's happening in my head, right? So a lot of processing is happening up here, and it's basically like if you let off a shot in a small area, it's a lot of ricocheting, right, with the ideas, right? So for me, I put it down on paper, and a lot of mine is like a how-to. How am I able to? How can I turn? I don't know, talking about like marketing or talking about maybe it's something around law or just small things like that. Or, how do what insurance company is the best for, insuring my business, right? Insuring my LLC. Those are things that like randomly be keeping me up at night. And I got to go write it down to get it out of there, right? So that's another thing that's helped with the analysis paralysis, to turn it into an actionable step. So I wrote it down to turn it into an action. So it's not just sitting up here taking up space. So that's number one. And then, the second one is being okay with walking through each of those steps because it might take you some time, right? And being able to not necessarily table it, right? So today I'm able to do 1, 2, and 3 things, right? Because maybe you're a person that is doing this and you have a day job, or you're a mother, or you're doing all these other different things in your day, and maybe you can't give a full 8 hours or 4 hours to each of these things that's bouncing around in your head. Giving yourself the ability to execute on these days or at this time makes it easier for a person to be able to move through the analysis paralysis. So turn your thoughts into actionable steps, period. That's number one. And then number two, be nice to yourself. Maybe today you got you are, in your bag, right? You just doing everything. And then the next day you might be tired. You might have, had to go, be everything to everybody. So some days you're going to be, have less energy. So be nice to yourself and give yourself time to recharge and to get back at it, right? So that's number three. I gave you three.
I love
be consistent, right? Write it down, turn it into an actual step. Be consistent and be nice to yourself. Give yourself the license to be able to come back into to not be the superhero every day, right? Yeah, that's it. Those are my three. Hopefully that helped.
Love it. Love it. Hey, you have anything to offer the family?
Yes. So I'm just going to drop my, that's who I am on social media. So I'm John_06. You can follow me personally. And then I'm also Milwaukee Notary Services on Instagram as well. I have my website. Feel free to drop in, ask me any questions, what have you. I'm just more here to be a service to the community. So with anybody within, within our community, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I'd love to just hop on and talk and get you to where you would like to get to. So that's where I am. That's how you find me. The book will be coming. All those things will be coming within a short period of time. But again, that's who I am. That's how you find me. Shout out to everybody that's on this call. Shout out to all of the educators. Shout out to all the students. Yeah, tap in and get as much information and turn it into action. Don't just tap in and be a student. Mm-hmm. Don't just be a student, be a practitioner. It feels so much better to be able to say you did that, right? So go do that. Go do it.
Indeed. So everybody, he's out in Milwaukee. So definitely follow him on Instagram. This helps build out your agency. Okay. Right. So like as you're talking to these new clients and brokers and law firms and stuff like that, you're like, hey, we also have services available in Milwaukee. You guys know Tiyawn. God damn, I'll be butchering your name. My bad, brother.
That's good.
You all know Mr. Walker now.
Mr. Walker.
You know, so like you guys can expand your operation. You now have somebody in Milwaukee that you can funnel assignments to. It makes your agency look that much bigger. So, use that for what it's worth, you guys. Follow him on Instagram. One more time, brother. I need your plug it
John _06. Tyclef, like Wyclef, right? Wyclef John, Tyclef John, right? _06. That is in the chat as well. And then also I did drop a link to my website as well. So feel free if you want to, shoot me at info at the bottom of the website. You have my number, but you also do have direct email link to me so we can, work together or what have you. So I'm reachable at all places. So definitely tap in when you feel necessary. So I'm here and I'm happy to be a part of the community, and I'm happy to see so many faces like mine. That's a huge thing, right?
Yeah. Hey, Cam, I'm gonna bring you back on here, but bring your fine ass back in here, please. You already know what I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, you laughing. Plug it in, baby.
Oh, okay, y'all, here we go. So we have our Familial Trajectory Changers Conference coming up. It's October 7th through 10th. It's going to be here in Sacramento, California. We are covering multiple industries. So we are going anywhere from the hair industry to cannabis, We have truck dispatching, we have notary, we have sales, online content, real estate, skincare. I mean, I've tried to cover almost every industry that is available and is important to us. Like you say, pushing this whole ownership thing and just making sure that we're actually able to grow and progress. So again, that is October 7th through the 10th. Tiger and I are going to be co-hosting, so it's going to be a ton of fun. We're going to learn. It's going to be 3 conference days where we are going to hear from industry leaders. So they are people that look like you and I who have built businesses. I've watched them build businesses. They are extremely successful, and we're going to have them come and talk to us more so about their pitfalls so that we can avoid those. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the biggest thing, is access in the pitfalls. That's what keeps us back from going forward and just doing what we need to do. So we're going to have a 3-day fund. We're going to do a black ball Saturday night, meet and greet, speed networking, panel interviews. We're just going to do everything with the community. So we have people that we can call on in various industries as we look to expand, because like I said, a notary is, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a footprint, like it's our foundation, but to really cross those 6-7 figures, we have to expand. And so that's what this conference is going to do. Like, we're putting us into position so we can expand, we can become better entrepreneurs, and we can, you know, have lifelong lasting friendships, because so many of us are kind of building independently. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from a family of workers. And so I don't have someone who can say, how do I run this business, or how do I access funding? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want it to be a leg up. I want to make sure we leave there with really impactful information, and we are actually able to scale, and we create millionaires. If you close to that number, this conference is going to push you over.
Love it. Love it. Hey, Cam, real quick, I'm gonna put it out here right now. I might as well, because I truly believe in Matthew 7:7-8. Ask and ye shall receive.
Okay.
Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall open upon to you. So I am about to ask.
Yes.
I'm cool with being the MC, but can I get a speaker role too? Can I get?
You have 2 speaker roles, actually. Like,
say less. Say less.
What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
hey, I'm just doing what God has ordained me to do.
No, like, you are. In matter of fact, you might have 3, because I'm like, dang, every time I talk to you, you're mastering something else. I'm like, hey, what do you want to do? You tell me that, everybody else gonna work around you. Like,
I want to show these niggas how to flip this work. You know what I mean? I want to show them how to take a crack, cut that up. You know what I mean? And then
we're selling it, and
then we gonna mix it. We gonna step on it a couple of times, put it back in these streets.
Yes, listen. I'm like, we got you.
Don't step on it, Tiger. Keep it pure. Keep it pure.
Yeah, well,
I gotta stretch it, bro. I gotta stretch.
You gotta stretch it.
I'm an early hustler.
Right now, we got a little bit we working with, but yes, I'm like sales. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the whole book writing thing. I'm like, damn, Tiger's dope in that. Like, whatever you bring, you're bringing. You are bringing. so
Tiyawn, connect with Cam. She invited you to be in the joint. You know what I mean? So, like, you guys see, there's deals being booked. This is the notary war room. This is what I imagine it to be. You got the panelists now have Cam that could connect her. She does apostille in California, Sacramento, the Bay. Reach out to her. Your agency just expanded. We had Tiyawn out there in Milwaukee. He has his agency out there. You guys can connect with him, funnel assignments over there. I'm here in Chicago. You guys know the deal with that. Connect. This is a safe haven, you guys. Like, really use this for what it's worth. All right. Any last words, my brother?
Y'all be great. That's it. That's all I need from y'all. Hold yourselves accountable. And that's it. Love on yourself.
And with that being said, peace, love, and cash flow to all you guys. You have a fabulous Sunday. I will see you guys later on tonight for the book publishing mastermind. You heard?